Right now, a new railway headed across Wisconsin. When the new route will be in place and where it'll take you.
Also, a reality check. We're breaking down ads in the Attorney General race.
And the work week ends on a wet note as rain and even wind is coming. I'll break down when to expect it, how much, and how long it'll last through the weekend.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Leah Lynchide. Happy Thursday. We're almost making it to Friday. You're going to want to take in this day, though, because the weather is beautiful. Last day.
Last day of dry weather. It won't be that, actually, temperatures-wise this week won't be that bad, considering it's still November, but it definitely will be wet, and winds will definitely be a factor, too, coming Saturday. So this is excessive rain. We still got a marginal risk of getting some excessive rain here. We're talking about maybe 2 to 3 inches in many areas, but since we've been so dry through October, it really shouldn't cause too many issues, but that is something to keep a note of, that the rainfall come Friday, Saturday night is going to be pretty significant. So overall, we're starting dew points have already jumped up 5 to 10 degrees, so our dew points are coming up. We got 50s all the way up to the north, so that's a sign of we are starting to pick up some of that Gulf moisture ahead of this system. Temperatures 40, and now we're up to 53, so definitely more early September type temperatures this morning than we're used to. We'll get up to around low 70s, mid 70s. The big difference between today and yesterday will be the winds. There'll be an increase, and also with the cloud cover too as it gets thickening up. So right now 53 degrees, south wind of 8. We'll get up to the mid 60s here by noon. The winds will also increase to about 15 to 20. So that'll be the thing we'll notice. Midwest, you start seeing the clouds out to the Dakotas. That is the front getting closer. Overall, we just got warm temperatures and wind. The system has pushed off to the mountain areas, and that is the one that's going to bring our rain chances starting late tonight and tomorrow. And I'll time that out a bit later in the broadcast, exactly how much rain we could get with that system a bit later.
Okay. Greg Barnhart, thank you very much. There's some breaking news overnight. A 64-year-old man is dead after hitting a deer last night near Rio.
The Columbia County Sheriff says the man was riding a motorcycle on County Highway B near Highway C and State Highway 16. He hit the deer and flew off his bike. First responders treated the man at the scene until a med flight helicopter arrived. The man died, though, before he could make it to the hospital. The sheriff's office has yet to release his name until the family is notified. They say he is from Montello.
Around the state, a big 3-state railway project reaching the final design stages. The Departments of Transportation in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Illinois, along with Amtrak, are working on adding another round-trip rail service. It'll run from the Twin Cities through La Crosse over to Chicago, with other stops along the way, including Wisconsin Dells, Portage, and Columbia in our area. Construction is set to begin next year on improvements like adding another rail line so passenger and freight trains can pass one another. Rail officials say calls for better rail service are growing.
I think the passenger rail industry, we do see a lot of demand, especially with the younger generations. They're really looking for this type of transportation, and it provides alternate choice.
Construction is expected to end in 2024. The second round-trip service could be added sooner, though.
New this morning in campaign 2022, a judge has ruled that a clerk in Green Bay has to grant poll workers, or poll watchers, rather, access to in-person absentee voting. It comes just a day after the Republican National Committee filed a lawsuit in Brown County claiming the city clerk was improperly allowing them to only see certain parts of the process. Poll watchers are legally entitled to view all parts of the public voting process. This order gives watchers access to areas where voters complete witness certification and return of their ballots. This is the RNC's 75th lawsuit in this election cycle.
We've looked at a lot of different campaign ads covering the top 2 races this fall, the race for governor and U.S. Senate, but also on the ballot will be the Attorney General, the state's top cop.
Our political reporter Will Keneally looks into the ads airing right now in the AG race.
We're going to take a look at 2 ads attacking both candidates in the race. We're taking a look at the first one here with Josh Call, attacking him on what it says is inaction in a murder case.
It was Halloween. My daughter stopped at 3 homes, her girlfriend's house, her teacher's house, and the man that murdered her.
This is the story of Lisa French, a 9-year-old who was murdered in Fond du Lac in the 70s. French's murderer, Gerald Turner, was convicted in 1975 and was released on parole a handful of times. He was sent back to prison for 15 years after violating his parole in 2003.
Eric Toney helped keep that man that murdered my daughter from being released. Eric Toney's always been there for me, and that's the kind of attorney general we need.
This is true. When Turner's sentence was coming up in 2018, Tony joined then AG Brad Schimmel in a petition to keep Turner confined.
Josh Call, he was not there for me at all.
The ad says that Josh Call did not help during the process. The petition itself was started before Call became Attorney General, and Call says that his agency has worked to keep Turner off the streets. We'll now take a look at the second ad targeting challenger Eric Toney over the issue of low bail.
Everyone makes mistakes, but Eric Toney's mistakes put us at risk.
Low bail has been a rallying cry for conservatives who are calling for the removal of Milwaukee DA John Chisholm. The ad alleges a similar instance slipped through Toney's office.
Tony's office allowed a 9-time felon out of jail who then murdered a fireman.
In this case, Reuben Houston was let out of Fond du Lac County Jail on a $500 bail. Shortly after his release, Houston went on to kill an Appleton firefighter in a shootout with first responders. But Toney says his office isn't to blame. That is rather the judge that set the lower bail, not anyone from his office. With this reality check, I'm Will Keneally.
You can find our full online series of Reality Check over on channel3000.com. It's also where you can find our voter information guide with all the information you need to make an informed vote at your fingertips. What to bring, how to register, where your polling place is, it's all up on channel3000.com/elections. Meanwhile, former Attorney General Eric Holder is canvassing for Mandela Barnes ahead of the midterms.
Holder, who served in the Obama administration as the first African-American Attorney General, is pushing voters to the polls.
I look at Ron Johnson, I'm thinking to myself, you know, he's not only running against Mandela, he's running against Franklin Roosevelt because he's against, you know, Social Security. He's running against Lyndon Johnson because he's against Medicaid and Medicare.
On the other side of the aisle, Johnson making campaign stops in Menominee and River Falls as he travels the state on a bus tour as well. Across the country, the latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows Republicans are currently in a position to win the majority in the House, possibly creating a divided government. President Biden is hoping Democrats retain control of Congress, which could come down to key races in Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, and Pennsylvania. Speaking of Pennsylvania, concerns are growing about voter intimidation, including harassment or people showing up armed at polling places.
Your authoritarian, un-American, anti-democratic conduct on Election Day, if it is illegal, will put you in jail.
In a win for Republicans, the state Supreme Court ruled Tuesday that officials can't count votes from mail-in or absentee ballots that don't have accurate handwritten dates on their return envelopes.
Meanwhile, the White House says President Biden's top advisors are making plans for a 2024 re-election bid. Biden said late last month that he intends to run, but hasn't made a formal decision yet. At 79, he is the oldest president in American history. A White House senior advisor says Biden will make a decision on whether to run in close consultation with his family, as he has in the past.
All right, it's 6:07 on your Thursday. Coming up, Brew City Battle. Which iconic Milwaukee stadium the Wisconsin men's and women's basketball teams will be playing in next week?
And we're in the 608 this morning with how local soccer players helping you achieve your goals when we come back in the 608.
With Pick and Save delivery, it's easy to get your special holiday foods brought right to your door. And that's music to your ears. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
What can Sono Bello do for you? How about a new shape?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
New confidence.
I can see a huge difference. Look at this.
New you.
I can wear a little black dress. I feel sexy.
With Sono Bello, you can permanently remove stubborn fat in just one visit. Don't wait. The results I've seen achieved are truly outstanding.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation with Sono Bello, America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and find out how you can get $250 off. Sono Bello uses Tri-Sculpt micro-laser liposuction to remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently for incredible transformations in just one visit.
I have one big regret. I didn't go sooner.
Call 1-888-622-8360 or go to sonobello.com.
Here at Precision, we are veteran-owned, and we take pride in servicing not only our community, but serving our country as well. No job is too big and no job is too small. Here at Precision, we'll fix them all.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust. breaking news in Dallas, Texas, where at least 5 police officers were killed when they were ambushed.
This was the deadliest day for U.S. law enforcement since 9/11.
Just days after this horrific crime, Mandela Barnes appeared on Vladimir Putin's propaganda news outlet and rationalized violence against American police officers.
Police officers are over-exercising their badges. This probably was a retaliatory attack.
Do you want Mandela Barnes representing you in the Senate?
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
2 new IHOP lunch and dinner menu items for twice the goodness, twice the flavor, and twice the choice. Sirloin Salisbury steak and all-natural salmon. Perfect for lunch or dinner. Only at IHOP. Download the app and earn free food with every purchase.
Don't miss the 33rd Annual Winter Art Fair off the Square, November 12th and 13th at the Monona Terrace Convention Center. Featuring over 100 Wisconsin exhibitors with a wonderful selection of ceramics, paintings, glass art, wood, jewelry, and much more. Place your bids at our silent auction Saturday only. Children will enjoy the Young Collectors Corner. Buy local for the holidays. The Winter Art Fair off the Square. Put it on your calendar today.
Keep your holidays in sync with free pickup on all your fresh favorites from Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back. A local professional athlete is making it his mission to make a positive difference right here in the 608 and beyond.
Josh Prider's live in Madison this morning with this story and the positive impact already being made. Playing a little soccer this morning, Josh.
I'm making Mark work for it this morning. Oh, here we go, Mark. I'll help you out here, guys. Hey, we've got a great story for you this morning. Grind, believe, achieve. That is the GBA mentality, according to Eric Leonard. Now, we're talking about how he is inspiring not only young athletes here in the 608, but other young folks. We've featured Eric Leonard before here in the 608. You might remember him, forward Madison, but now Eric Leonard can add author to his resume. He just released his new book called The GBA Mentality. Leonard uses his story of accomplishing his goals as a professional soccer player to illuminate a path that anyone can follow to overcome adversity, fight against conformity, and ultimately achieve 1% more in their life.
My journey to playing professional soccer was sending 500 emails and hearing a response from 2, and maybe 1 of them allowing me to come to their invite tryouts. And for me, the 1% more is a life habit. It's a mentality, and I think it's something that can be replicated into any career, into any profession. I think that 1% is what helps you become the next best version of yourself.
Along with his new book, Leonard also founded a nonprofit called GBA Ethos. His goal was to create an organization that gives all kids the opportunity to play soccer regardless of their family's financial situation. If you'd like to learn more about how you can help GBA Ethos or more on his book, I've posted a link up on channel3000.com. And coming up in our next half hour, we're going to learn a little bit more about why he's doing this and really how everyone can learn from what he's doing with this book right now, guys. But I mean, really an awesome way to show how really with whatever you do, you can always take it to that next step, whether that's soccer, whether that's anything in your life. So a pretty cool story here, and Eric's just an incredible guy. So I'm really wishing him luck, and I think he's going to be doing some really good work, not only here, but really across the country, guys.
We're rooting for him. Some good inspiration this morning, Josh. Thanks a lot.
Oh, and Mark. We're rooting for Mark. I'd like to see him beat Josh in a one-on-one contest there.
You're so competitive.
I am, I have to say. All right, remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out to him on social media or shoot him an email for a chance to be featured. You have to admit, running a camera and kicking a ball, that's a lot going on there.
It is.
Talented
Very
man.
impressive.
Man.
Hey, guys, got your tickets to the Brew City Battle. It is next Friday. That's the Wisconsin men and women's basketball teams playing a game at AmFam Field in Milwaukee. Check this out. Former Badger Brian Butch taking the first shot at the ballpark. Way up high. He's on top of the scoreboard in center field. He tried to drop it in from 147 feet. He didn't make it, but still kind of cool to watch.
Yeah.
By the way, Badgers senior Tyler Wall is going to be at Buffalo Wild Wings in Fitchburg to promote the game. He'll be signing autographs as well.
Hey, sticking with American Family Field, the Brewers announcing the dates for their annual clubhouse sale. The sale's taking place on December 2nd and 3rd from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. It offers savings on merchandise up to 80% off. The event is cashless. Admission and parking are free.
Today, the city of Madison honoring the 6 million people living every day with a devastating illness in the U.S. This month is Alzheimer's Awareness Month. Alzheimer's is a progressive brain disorder that proves to be rather debilitating for those diagnosed with it. More than 800 buildings across the country will be lit up teal to raise awareness, including the Madison Municipal Building downtown. You're asked to wear teal as well, in solidarity with the cause.
Happening today, Madison is honoring a World War II vet who passed away just weeks after her 100th birthday.
She's just an incredible woman, and I can't say thank you enough to the Marge Marshmans of the world, again, who have broken those barriers and led the way for all of us.
We talked to Marjorie Marshman back in September when the Department of Veterans Affairs celebrated her 100th birthday and her years of service back in the 40s. Marjorie joined 5 of her brothers in the military during World War II. She passed away last month. Today there will be a graveside service with military honors for Marjorie, followed by a luncheon at the VFW on Cottage Grove Road. That starts at noon.
6:15 now. Let's get your certified most accurate forecast with Greg Barnhart. Hey there, Greg.
Hey, and we got one mild day left, really. Well, actually, dry day. It's not going to be actually that too cold. We're starting to pick up the winds aloft from the southwest as that system out to the west is beginning to push into the plain. So our winds aloft and even at the surface are starting to pick up as that system begins. We're going to see it approach here tomorrow. The front kind of just stalls right overhead, and then we have a little system that comes up along it northward, which will keep it going through Saturday morning so that the rain chances continue. That'll push off, but one thing to note is the cold air, the really cold air, stays north into Canada. We really don't see that until we see another system midweek or in the end of next week that comes through and really then pushes our temperatures back down into the 40s, maybe even 30s. But until then, even next week, we're still looking at mild conditions. We're just going to get the rain here for this weekend. As you see, today cloud cover, we'll see a few showers here later tonight. Then that line will start to develop towards the morning hour. We'll start seeing showers come in southern Wisconsin by early morning, and that'll last as this front just kind of sits there throughout the day. And then we have a low that actually develops south of here that'll actually push everything then away from us by Saturday afternoon, clear us, but the winds will definitely be the noticeable thing come Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday actually doesn't look too bad. Overall, today we'll see temperatures getting up to the low 70s, mid 70s. The winds will be the noticeable difference today. Clouds will start increasing tonight. Temperatures won't drop off that much tonight. May not even get below 60 in many areas, so very mild. Showers come in by after 4, and then we start seeing it really develop towards about after 7. That line then pushes east. So tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow morning, just really off and on light rain showers and even thunderstorms continuing too. And that'll go on through all the way through Saturday morning as we see it. So rainfall amounts, we could be pushing upwards of 2 to 3 inches in some areas, depending on where that line sits. But everyone's going to receive a good wetting rain. Noticeable difference Saturday, the winds. These are gusts to winds. We could see gusts up to 40. So although the rain will stop, the winds will definitely pick up come Saturday. So something to keep note of. Once we get past that, Sunday's actually not too bad. 61, still above average and mild, and even through election day we're looking at above average temperatures. Then a front towards the end of next week will drop us temperatures back to where they should be, which is about middle 40s by that time, and maybe 30s by next weekend too.
Okay, Greg Barnhart, thank you very much. A Dane County woman is pledging to help prevent more bicyclists and pedestrians from getting hit by vehicles, a story is all too common in the news lately. Laura Budel said she was driving down the road this week when she nearly hit a jogger who was wearing dark clothing. She says her close call inspired her to take action. Laura wrote on Facebook she will buy a bag of reflective vests and then put them out for people to wear. She says this is her small way of making sure people know about the dangerous encounters that can happen.
Maybe just seeing the vest will remind drivers to be careful and remind walkers, joggers, runners. You know, I think as adults, we tell our kids to do that, but then we think we're invincible when we get bigger and grown up. And I just hope it'll do something.
Laura plans to put a couple dozen reflective vests near Lincoln Road on Oregon's far south side for people to use.
Interest rates are rising once again, marking the largest series of Fed hikes in more than 30 years. This as the Fed works to tame inflation and slow the economy down. And it appears to be working, at least for the housing market. According to lending giant Freddie Mac, the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage averaged 7.8% in the week ending October 27. Now, for comparison, 1 year ago, the 30-year fixed rate was 3.14%. Experts say the higher the rates go, the less you can afford.
People buy houses based on what the monthly payment is. The payment prices, the actual monthly cost, the payment, has gone up by as much as 50%.
Meanwhile, demand for mortgages has dropped dramatically. According to the Mortgage Bankers Association, applications are at their lowest pace since 1997.
Glaciers at Yellowstone and Yosemite National Park are on track to disappear in the next 30 years. That's according to the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Researchers found that glaciers in 1/3 of the planet's parks are set to disappear by 2050, whether or not global warming is slowed. Earth's glaciers are a major source of fresh water supply, and they've been melting at a breakneck pace in recent decades. The study provides the first global assessment of both the current and future scenario of glaciers in World Heritage Sites.
Today, Netflix is launching a plan with ads. It's $7 a month. That's $3 less than the basic plan. Customers will have to watch 4 to 5 minutes of ads an hour at that price. They won't be able to download any titles either, and some movies and shows won't be available. Netflix says it's because of licensing restrictions that they're trying to work out. Coming up next, some advice for new dads.
And in our next half hour, a new agreement across first responding agencies in our area, how it'll help firefighters and you.
The Final Drive high school football coverage, Fridays at 10.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
My name's Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
Radical Tim Michaels is extremely divisive.
I don't care who I offend.
And at his company, the culture comes from the top. Multiple court filings say women were sexually assaulted, harassed, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed from working on a pipeline job.
Higher-ups dismissed the women as liars and fired those who spoke out.
I don't care who I offend.
That's how Tim Michaels runs his company. Don't let him run our state.
Shop the big fall sale at Madison Lighting. Every light fixture, every brand, indoors and out. And all home decor is on sale, November 3rd through 7th. Shop this sale and save on everyday low prices. Madison Lighting. This is big.
We make sit-down chicken, stand-up chicken, backyard chicken, oops chicken, lots of time chicken, no time chicken. If there's one thing we know, it's chicken, chicken, and chicken. More choices, more wow, more to love. Tyson.
Hi, I'm Tim O'Brien, owner of The Healthy Place. I'm excited to tell you about our new Wild Theory CBD products that will get you high fives from everyone you know. Wild Theory's new groundbreaking formula has higher levels of the good stuff, and it packs surprising results. Is it legal in Wisconsin? Of course. Is it potent? You bet. Will you love it? I'm sure of it. Stop by one of our Madison locations or visit findyourhealthyplace.com. Type in high five and our website will hook you up.
There will always be bumps in the road, but we got guts, America. We got freedom. We got power. We got future. So let's drive on and make the future we want to see together. Because your new Ford vehicle is just the start of a journey. So stop by your Ford dealer today and claim one of the thousands of new Ford trucks and SUVs on their way. We've been building this country for 119 years, but we're just getting started.
So I just started this new trapeze class and...
Whoa, the new iPhone is here.
I know, right? The ultimate iPhone. US Cellular paid for mine and I was already a customer.
The new iPhone is here.
Right, and you'd be smart to get it at US Cellular. They have price protection, so you know your rate won't go up.
Now, new and current customers can get any new iPhone 14 Pro or iPhone 14 Pro Max on us.
Okay, I'll just wait here and watch your donuts.
At US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Cobuson Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobuson, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobuson.com to apply.
Welcome back. We always ask you to share your morning with us. Jill sent in this shot, a beautiful sky and some beautiful horses as well.
Lovely shot. Thanks for sharing, Jill. Loving that this morning. A lot of clowns out there. If you want to share your morning, please do so by posting on social media and using the hashtag MyNews3Morning. Okay, we have a new edition of Dadvice this morning. Leah and her husband Zach are expecting their first in 8 weeks.
It's creeping up.
And as a dad of 4 little ones myself, and Greg, I'd love for you to weigh in on this too. That time when they're little goes by quickly. And I'm realizing this now that my youngest is 2 and my older ones are getting not to that play on the ground stage. But get down on the ground and play with them. Make sure you take opportunities because, you know, oftentimes everything's so busy and you've got your own stuff to do. And you may see like, okay, they're quiet, they're alone, they're fine, they're calm. I'm just going to leave them on the ground. But get down and play with them because those years go by quick. Greg, you remember playing on the floor with your kiddos?
15 years ago, but yeah.
15 years ago?
It goes by pretty quick.
So from your perspective, I always hear this from parents your age. Oh, enjoy these years. Oh, they are so precious. They go by too fast. Make the most of this time with them while they're young. What do you think about that?
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it does go by fast. I mean, considering it was 20 years ago almost when I had my first kid. Now, you know, it does.
Wow.
So it goes by quick. You won't think it at the time. You'll probably get real stressed out at times.
Oh, yeah.
But later on, you'll realize when they're teenagers and that, it went pretty fast.
This is really good advice. You know, I can see exactly what you mean. You get a second alone. They're on the floor. They seem to be preoccupied.
Yeah, okay, I can go switch out the laundry, or I can go do the dishes, or
really
I can,
feedback.
you know, maybe shut my eyes for 5 minutes. But yeah, the days are long, but the years, they fly by.
That's
So
really
take
good
advantage
advice,
of those
Chris.
moments.
Thank you. I appreciate that. 8 weeks. Christmas Day, creeping up.
Oh, gosh.
Wish me luck.
All right, we'll get to that bus stop forecast coming up here when News 3 Now This Morning returns.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Schwab, General Surgeon at Stoughton Health. If you suffer from bothersome or painful spider veins or varicose veins, please join us for our upcoming seminar where you can learn what new procedures may be able to help you.
Radical Tim Michaels is extremely divisive.
I don't care who I offend.
And at his company, the culture comes from the top. Multiple court filings say women were sexually assaulted, harassed, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed from working on a pipeline job.
Higher-ups dismissed the women as liars and fired those who spoke out.
I don't care who I offend.
That's how Tim Michaels runs his company. Don't let him run our state.
The garage door is America's new front door. So why not look at it in a whole new way? Let Precision's experienced designers come to you. Let us show you the difference a new Precision garage door can make.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
The upcoming holidays are hectic enough without having to worry about appliances breaking down. Family-owned Brothers Maine is having a Veterans Day sale featuring kitchen and laundry deals on GE appliances. The lowest prices guaranteed. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know it needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
Wells Fargo lets you know where you stand with your FICO credit score. What if you knew where you stood with everything? Like your future in-laws.
Hope you like cats.
I hope your parents like me. They're whispering.
The kitties like her.
Can they tell I'm allergic? Tears of joy.
Welcome to the family.
Like knowing where you stand? When it comes to your credit score, you can with Wells Fargo.
I see your hard work, everything you do to try to make it. But people continue to be left behind. I'm running for Senate to put more money in your pocket. Ron Johnson's had 12 years to make things better, but costs are still rising, and all he's managed to do is write a tax cut for himself. I believe better is possible. I believe hard work can pay off, and I'll never stop fighting until it does. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
If you suffer from bothersome spider veins or painful varicose veins, please contact us at Stoughton Health to learn about what new procedures may be able to help you. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
So tonight is kind of like the starter just shot the gun. We have 3 months.
Right now, 11 local fire departments hitting the ground running to help provide you with better emergency services.
And the final push for Wisconsin's candidates before Tuesday. Which neighborhoods they'll be stumping in today.
And so say goodbye to those 70s as we go cool back to where we should be. Rain is on the way. I'll break down when to expect the rain and those cooler temperatures and how long it'll last this weekend.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Leah Lynchide.
I'm Chris Stanford. Greg Barnhart in for Chris Reese this morning, who's vacationing in Hawaii.
Yeah.
We have 70 degrees. I'd rather be in Wisconsin.
You know what? You're right.
That's how I feel.
Nowhere I'd rather be.
That's right.
Than right here, right now.
God's country, they call it.
Way to keep it positive.
Yeah.
I'm trying real hard if you can't tell.
Because there's a big change coming.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, we have some wet weather in the forecast.
Unfortunately,
that could shake up your weekend plans.
We've had some great stretch of weekends here. After we complained that we had like 8 weekends, I think, of precip. Now we've had some great stretches, but it is going to come to an end today. Right now, temperatures overall, we've warmed overnight. We're up like in the upper 40s to low 50s, so really more September-type low temperatures. For your bus stop, really today, it's going to be warm. The only noticeable difference is the winds, too, especially this afternoon. And then when you go pick them up, the winds will be the difference. But the temperature still will be warm, up to 70 degrees again today. Right now, the winds are okay, about 5 to 10 miles per hour, but that will change. Temperatures low to mid 70s really is what we expect. As we look at what we're going to climb up to, we should climb up to about the 60s, and with the south winds picking up 10 to 15 and then 15 to 25. Look, big picture over the Midwest right now, a few clouds coming in, but warm temperatures. The winds are starting to pick up. The front is just starting to get into the Dakotas. That is a system that's going to bring our rain and thunderstorm chances coming up as you look at the dew points all the way up to the 50s. So they actually could see some severe weather to the south and excessive rainfall. We could see 2 to 3 inches. So something I'll break down and when to expect it and when it'll end here a bit later in the broadcast.
All right. Greg Barnhart, thank you very much. We appreciate it. New this morning, fire departments from 11 different municipalities in Dane, Rock, and Jefferson counties have all unanimously voted to form a combined fire protection district.
That fire department will cover more than 200 square miles and serve more than 25,000 residents in the cities of Edgerton, Milton, and the surrounding townships. The Milton mayor calling it a major milestone.
It's rare that you have 10 municipalities, cities, and townships meeting together and also solving a problem for everybody involved. And that was really exciting for all of us to participate in this meeting and in this vote tonight.
Starting February 1st, 2023, firefighters and first responders will begin responding to calls across the territory. The fire chief says this is a solution to staffing shortages happening across the state.
Part of the reason behind all of this, the labor pool, it is so hard to find not only skilled workers, but the volunteers, the demands on life. So we're just all competing with each other.
While they have 3 months to get ready to respond to calls, the plan includes a multi-year shift to new facilities for the new fire district.
To campaign 2022 coverage now. Both governor hopefuls out on the campaign trail this week, hoping to make a difference in the final days of the midterms. Governor Evers and Tim Michels each say they're confident in their ability to win the state.
We are going to do bold leadership in Madison. I'm going to work as hard as the hardworking people of Wisconsin do. They deserve to have a leader that works hard and that has been proven to be successful.
We're going to end up winning because we have the better ideas, and he's got some really horrible ideas, whether it's around schools or whether it's around voting rights.
The polls currently have the candidates in a dead heat. Among likely voters, Governor Evers and Tim Michels, both at 48%. Last month, the governor had a single-point lead. And in the race for U.S. Senate, again, among likely voters, Senator Ron Johnson with a 2-point lead, 50-48, over Democratic challenger Mandela Barnes. That's 4 points closer than it was a month ago. Both races, however, fall well within the poll's margin of error of 4.8%. This poll was conducted over the past week.
We all know polls and results don't always line up. In 2020, for example, CNN had President Biden up by 8 points over Donald Trump in Wisconsin and ended up winning by less than 1 point, well outside of the margin of error. So this morning, with 5 days to go, Real Clear Politics shows that polls tend to underestimate GOP candidates. It bases this off of results from 2016 to 2020. And it's no small margin either. The website shows Republican candidates outperformed polling by 4.5 points. If you're voting in Dane County, there will be 3 advisory referendums at the bottom of your ballot. The purpose of these is to get a response. This is not going to actually change anything. One expert we spoke with said there are more scientific ways to gauge public opinions, and the questions are sending mixed messages to voters.
I've talked to people who were confused, who thought that the law was up for being either affirmed or struck down based on this referendum. And it's just one more among an apparently endless list of blows to people's faith in the democratic process as it operates in our state and in our country.
So, Dane County voters will be asked, should Wisconsin Statute 940.04, which bans abortion at any stage of pregnancy without exception for rape, incest, or the health of the patient, be repealed to ensure legal access to abortion care? Professor Howard Schweber, you just heard from. He says the supervisor who wrote this question wants you to agree with her. He says it's misleading.
The opinion that's being promoted here is that the Republicans are absolutists on the question of abortion, and the implications, of course, if they get power. An absolute ban on abortion under all circumstances will take effect in Wisconsin.
So, District 7 Supervisor Cecily Castillo, she wrote the referendum question. In a statement to News 3, she says health and life are 2 different things. There is a life exception in this law, but not a health exception. This referendum question gives Dane County voters the ability to make their opinion about whether Wisconsin's archaic abortion ban should be repealed loud and clear.
You can take a closer look at that advisory referendum and the process on the front page of our website. We have everything you need to know about Tuesday's election, including where you can vote and what you should bring with you to the polls. It's all up on channel3000.com this morning. And we will also share those results in real time as votes are counted on Election Day. 6:36 here on your Thursday. That dry weather's coming to an end. We have some wet days in the forecast that Greg's timing out.
And no winner in the Powerball drawing makes it the 2nd largest now in history. We'll tell you how much you stand to win.
And I'm Josh Breiter live in the 608 with how a local professional athlete is inspiring others when we come back. Stick around.
Black November starts now at Furniture and Appliance Mart. Save big on appliances like this Whirlpool all-gas range, now just $6.99. Plus, guaranteed delivery within 5 days. Furniture and Appliance Mart, inside Ashley off the Beltline in East Springs Drive.
Aren't you tired of the division and the anger? I know I sure am. Our country faces enormous challenges. I promise I'll do everything I can to help make things better, and I'll always tell you the truth. What continues to give me hope are the kind and decent people I meet all over Wisconsin. People who love America and are willing to work hard to unify and heal it. Please join us. I'm Ron Johnson. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote.
This ring is a commitment. After we got married, I got very sick. He would come every day to help me walk again. And now I'm back. This is a reminder
that love endures all.
Express your extraordinary love. Jared, love brilliantly.
An experience as stirring and inspiring as it is joyful, funny, and exuberant. Come From Away, the Broadway musical.
DePaco Credit Union members are better together because together members share thank yous, a DePaco-only perk that thanks members in cash. And because you're not just a member, you're also an owner, everyone benefits. How will this year's nearly $3.7 million in thank yous benefit you and your community? Since 2016, DePaco members have shared nearly $24.4 million. We truly are better together. Join the movement where your member ownership pays. Visit your nearest DePaco branch or join online at depaco.com.
Think crime is bad now? Mandela Barnes would make it worse. Barnes would eliminate cash bail even after the Waukesha Christmas parade attack, supports amnesty and sanctuary cities for illegals, and had worked for a radical group that wants to defund the police. Barnes has a long record of smearing police while spending your tax dollars on security for himself. Mandela Barnes, wrong on crime, dangerous for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Black November starts now at Ashley. For a limited time, take a bonus 20% off your purchase of $19.99 or more at checkout. Plus, get 60 months special financing, no minimum and no money down. Happening now only at Ashley.
As Campaign 2022 approaches the finish line, News 3 Now presents a special midterm election preview.
We're spotlighting key races and issues, fact-checking candidates, and hearing the voices of voters in battleground Wisconsin.
Saturday at 7 p.m. on News 3 Now.
We wanted to create an inclusive environment,
Bringing together families and kids with special needs at a special place where they can play and be themselves. Charlotte DeLeste takes you inside Madison's new Keep Calm Sensory Zone, Monday at 10. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
We're back. A local athlete trying to spread some positivity in the 608 this morning.
Josh Sprider is live in Madison with more on his story, trying his hand at soccer. There's a story behind this, Josh.
Yeah, guys, this is an amazing story, and we're live at a local soccer field because this is really where it all began for Eric Leonard. Soccer was his life. It was his motivator, and now he's using it to inspire others. We featured the forward Madison player before in the 608, but now Leonard founded a nonprofit called GBA Ethos and just released a new book called The GBA Mentality. GBA stands for Grind, Believe, Achieve. His mission behind the organization is to give all kids the opportunity to play soccer regardless of their family's financial situation.
Madison's given so much to me, and growing up I played club soccer, and I remember the financial toll that it took to play. I mean, my parents would have to pay for me to go travel around the world just to play soccer, and for me, growing up, I wanted to find a way that I could raise money and give back to kids who have financial limitations so that they can play soccer. So I created a nonprofit called GBA Ethos, and one of my first fundraising goals is actually through my book.
Long-term goals include growing GBA Ethos reach on a national level and eventually building public turf fields here in southern Wisconsin and around the country that are open for anyone to use. Leonard's main campaign for proceeds is based on the fundraising from his book. Other sources include GBA clothing or donations right to GBA Ethos. If you'd like to learn more about the mission behind GBA Ethos, his new book, I've posted links up on channel3000.com. It's a really quick read, only 120 pages. He says his goal is to really help those between ages 9 and 20, kind of boost them up for success in their life, guys. But really, there's something that any of us can learn from. Just kicking a soccer ball to some life experiences. There it goes, Mark, into the net. We love it here in the 608, guys.
I'm so impressed with your skills, Josh. Hey, have you taken a look at the book yet? This sounds like something I would read.
This is something that you certainly would read. I haven't read the book yet, but I've read some of the excerpts of it just from what I've seen online, and just some of the motivating quotes I think is incredible. And he believes that all you have to do is achieve 1% more and you're going to be finding more success in your life. And I think that's all of us, like trying to find something new to challenge ourselves in a different way and really pulling off something that might make your life even better and greater than you ever thought it would be, guys. So I think this is something that we all can learn from.
Yeah, nice inspiring message this morning. Josh Sprider, thanks for sharing it with us.
Hey, remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out to him on social media. There's his handle for both Twitter and Facebook, as well as Instagram. His email is in the608@WISC-TV.com. He's always looking for inspirational stories around our area. We'd love to share yours. It's 6:43 now. The Powerball lottery jackpot is at $1.5 billion after 39 consecutive drawings with no jackpot winner. According to Powerball, that cash value, roughly $745.9 million.
Not bad.
I don't fully comprehend those numbers.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Anything over $1 million is like, what? The next drawing is on Saturday, the second largest jackpot in Powerball history. Get your tickets now, folks. They're going to be hot.
Hey, maybe the person who wins the Powerball will spin it on this. Check it out. This is a life-size cast of Princess Diana's hand that's going up for auction. It's expected to sell for up to 40,000 pounds. That's just over 46,000 US dollars when it goes under the hammer today. The plaster cast of Diana's left hand depicting her wedding band. It is made by renowned Croatian sculptor Oscar Neman. The auction house says that the piece is extremely rare and believed unique.
So we have to talk about this for a minute. Where would you put this piece of art, I suppose, in your home? Just like a hand laying out on your dinner table? Very artsy.
Probably not on my dinner table.
How'd your wife feel about this? Edgy?
Leah, don't get me started. We've got creepier things hanging on my walls.
Chris Stanford's wife
Princess
loves.
Diana's.
They're very popular right now, those oil paintings of old men.
Portraits. Oil portraits of random people from like the 17 and 1800s.
I have to say, I see her Instagram and I think those are so pretty, so I've tried to buy some, and Zach says the same thing. He's like, we're not hanging up pictures of random people in our house.
I agreed to one, and now they're everywhere.
They are very pretty. Better than a hand, I would say.
Glad someone thinks so.
40,000 pounds.
All right, let's check in with Greg. And your certified most accurate forecast. Hey, Greg.
Well, we're in hand discussion right now.
Yeah, save us. Get us out of this,
Yeah,
Greg.
let's get us out. But weather-wise, one more good day. We're going to have low to mid-70s, maybe a little bit upper 70s too. More wind today than what we had yesterday. Overall, the winds are starting to pick up as that system pushes east. That's why we got the southwest winds aloft. Once this comes through Saturday, we're not going to see much of a cool down, maybe 50s and 60s, but you'll see the warm temperatures kind of return back as the cold air is locked to the north. It's not really until the next week, till the end, till Veterans Day, that we really start seeing a different air mass change and really get to the cold temperatures. In the meantime, we're going to have clouds today start to increase. Winds will be increasing today as the front gets closer. A few showers tonight, but the main batch starts to come in tomorrow morning just before commute time, and then it sets up over really southern Wisconsin and just sits there throughout the day and tonight and Friday night. Dropping light to moderate rain. Then we have a low that does come up Saturday morning. You'll see it right here in Iowa spin around. That'll actually start clearing out things, but the one thing it will do is increase the winds real strong coming Saturday, but the precipitation should taper off then Saturday afternoon. Sunday looks okay right now. Overall, we're going to look at uppers to 60s, low 70s by this afternoon. The winds will increase. You'll see the cloud cover over time increase. Tonight, the temperatures may not fall below 60 just because of the cloud cover and winds. By the time you get to 2, you'll start seeing some showers. 5, you'll start seeing them come over, and then definitely after 7, you'll see that light to moderate rain and thunderstorms embedded into this area, and that will just sit here throughout the day and then kind of slowly spread east, but really not move much, and then actually expand as we get towards overnight hours as that low develops in Iowa, and then we'll see improvement come Saturday. But the one thing, like I said, the winds definitely will be the thing to note as we get towards Saturday. Precipitation, really, we could use all this, 2 to 3 inches. It could be a little bit shift here or there, depending on where that line sets up. But all areas will definitely get quite a bit of rain after we've had a dry October. So the 10-day, we're going to have a decent Sunday, 61 degrees, breezy conditions, but overall still above average. And then through Election Day, it looks okay. It's the next front towards the end of the forecast that'll bring us back to reality, where we should be in the mid-40s and then back into maybe the 30s by the end of next week. But this weekend it's going to be a rain, but it's at least going to be a warm rain. We're talking 60s and rain instead of being, 40s or 30s with rain.
Okay, Greg Barnhart, like the sound of that. Thank you very much. Coming up in the morning sprint, a historic run for the Bucks, where they're headed this weekend.
If you got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, let us know so we can show their picture on TV. We'll be right back.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by 3 Bears Resort, Warrens, Wisconsin.
Black November starts now at Ashley. For a limited time, save 55% on Beauty Rest Select Hybrid mattresses and receive a comforter, 2 pillows, and a 4-piece sheet set for free. And get 60 months special financing with no money down. Happening now only at Ashley.
In every corner of our state, Wisconsinites feel the impact of a changing climate, from the effects on our crops and livestock to the damage to our roads and highways. That's why Governor Tony Evers has a plan to take action and protect our state. It will get Wisconsin to 100% clean energy, lower power bills, grow our local economies, and create more than 40,000 jobs right here in Wisconsin. Tony Evers, focused on doing the right thing for Wisconsin families.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand when everything's made to be broken. I just want you to know I am. I just want you to know I am.
There will always be bumps in the road, but we got guts, America. We got freedom. We got power. We got future. So let's drive on and make the future we want to see together. Because your new Ford vehicle is just the start of a journey. So stop by your Ford dealer today and claim one of the thousands of new Ford trucks and SUVs on their way. We've been building this country for 119 years, but we're just getting started.
For Clinton Anderson, our community is his top priority. He's delivered for middle-class families on the Beloit City Council, and he'll keep fighting to lower costs for us in the Assembly. Jeff Klett's priorities are all wrong. He supports dismantling our public schools, wants to slash community services to give tax breaks to his billionaire backers, and he'll vote with extreme Republicans to enforce Wisconsin's abortion ban, which could send doctors to prison. We can't afford Jeff Klett.
Oh, great. My wireless bill just went up.
Should have gone with US Cellular. They aren't raising prices on any of their plans.
Seriously?
Yeah, my price won't increase.
Well, that is refreshing. I feel like everywhere you turn these days, prices are going up.
Supply chain got us too. Don't get me started on the overhead cost.
At US Cellular, every plan for everyone is price protected.
You know, I respect a female entrepreneur.
US Cellular, where every plan is price protected.
Black November starts now at Ashley. For a limited time, take a bonus 20% off your purchase of $19.99 or more at checkout. Plus, get 60 months special financing, no minimum and no money down. Happening now only at Ashley.
News 3 Now, election night coverage, Tuesday, November 8th.
6:50, time for the morning sprint.
Breaking news overnight, mutual aid across 6 different agencies helping to put out a fire at a restaurant in Lodi. You can see the damage in this photo. Fishtails has closed this morning after that fire. It appeared to start in the wall of the kitchen. The restaurant said on Facebook they'll meet with contractors this morning and expect to reopen fairly quickly. That's thanks to the quick response by Lodi firefighters, Columbia County deputies, and 4 other departments who stepped in to help.
The Bucs hope to continue a nice run in the Twin Cities tomorrow. Last night, their second straight matchup with the Detroit Pistons, and they handled them with ease. Giannis and Drew Holiday combined for 58 points and helped carry the Bucs to a 116-91 victory. The Bucs are now 7-0 and have the best record in basketball. They take on the Timberwolves with a late-night tip-off Friday on ESPN at 9 o'clock.
Madison police are investigating after more than a dozen shell casings were found in a neighborhood on the city's west side. Officers were called to Flower Lane just before 7:30 Tuesday night after several callers reported hearing gunshots. No injuries or property damage yet. It's unclear what led to the shooting. If you might have heard something or seen something along Flower Lane, you should call police.
A woman is in jail this morning after a fight ended with her flipping her vehicle. Madison police say the 30-year-old suspect was in a fight with another woman at Easttown Mall Tuesday. The other woman tried to leave the scene in her vehicle, and as the other woman was leaving, police say the suspect got into her own vehicle and chased after her, crashing into her multiple times. After repeated crashes, the suspect flipped the car. The other woman was able to get away.
Former President Trump returns to the campaign trail today. He'll be in Iowa headlining a rally for the Republican Senate and gubernatorial candidates in that state. President Biden, meanwhile, heads west, campaigning in New Mexico and Southern California.
We must, in this moment, dig deep within ourselves and recognize that we can't take democracy for granted any longer.
Last night, President Biden spoke about the threat to democracy from candidates who cast doubt on elections. He asked Americans to take that into consideration when voting in the midterms. Internal CBS News analysis has found that more than 300 Republican candidates for statewide and federal office have raised doubts about the validity and integrity of the 2020 election.
In Game 4 of the World Series, the Houston Astros throwing a combined no-hitter against the Philadelphia Phillies. They ended up winning 5-0. It's the only second time in the World Series history that a no-hitter has happened. The series now tied at 2 games apiece. Game 5 at 7 tonight in Philly before they head back to Houston on Saturday.
CBS and its former CEO have reached a settlement agreement with the New York Attorney General's office. Leslie Moonves and the broadcasting company will now have to pay $30 million as part of a sexual misconduct investigation. The AG's office says CBS and its senior leadership knew about multiple allegations made against Moonves and intentionally concealed them.
A 150-year-old home in Dane County has a brand new roof this morning. Crews did it for Vietnam War vet Pete Ponte for free. Ponte's friend heard about a local company offering a free roof for veterans and nominated him. Crews from Hines Contracting awarded it to the Marshall resident a couple weeks ago. You can see it here. It's the 3rd time they've given a roof for free on Veterans Day. Well deserved.
Very. The Parkland school shooter will spend the rest of his life behind bars without the possibility of parole. He was formally sentenced yesterday. Last month, the jury decided not to impose the death penalty, something many families were frustrated with. For the 2nd day in a row, they did get a chance to address the shooter directly. Under Florida law, the judge has to follow the jury's guidance here. That hearing was simply a chance for families and survivors to find closure.
The Biden administration is giving families across the country $4.5 billion through the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. The funds will go to state and local governments to help people pay their home heating and cooling costs, settle debts, and make home repairs. According to the National Energy Assistance Directors Association, this winter's home energy costs will be at the highest levels in more than 15 years.
New research out this morning predicts this year's Thanksgiving meal could be about 13.5% more costly than last year. Shoppers are probably aware because we're all seeing the higher prices at the grocery store. According to that IRI survey, about 38% of consumers expect to pay more for Thanksgiving meals, even though they still plan to buy the same amount of food.
Yeah, overall, we got a really good bus forecast. We're looking at temperatures more September-like, but the winds will definitely be increased today, so that'll be one thing you notice. So things to know, like I said, 70s today, 60s through the weekend. Rain starts tomorrow morning, lasting through Saturday morning. The wind definitely will be an issue come Saturday, especially across southeastern Wisconsin. We'll see the winds increase today, 70 degrees. Rain chances really start ramping up, like I said, once we get towards Friday morning. And then overall, the temperatures should then cool back down. Once we get to the 10-day, you can see right there. We'll get to 61, not bad Sunday, and then cooling off even more as we get towards the end of next week, which it's not coming up right now. So,
hey, there's a pretty shot. A look at the sunrise as it comes up over Madison on your Friday Eve, folks. Make it a great day. Join us for another news and weather update in about half an hour.